Hey there, I'm Maria the Self-Care Coach and welcome to my new living room. Today I want to talk to you about space. This might seem a little weird, but in light of my recent move, I've been thinking a lot about space. So Derek and I moved from a 1-bedroom apartment with a little balcony into a 3-bedroom house with a little backyard and plenty of room to roam. And I watched how in that transition I was impacted, and it has been incredible. The difference I've noticed in my creativity, in my openness to connecting with others, in my sort of sense of being at ease. And I want to dive a little bit deeper on this with you because it was only this giant contrast that helped me become aware of this. But for several years, I think I was being impacted by lack of space. When I talk about lack of space, I'm not saying that you need to live in a big house to be relaxed, to be creative or whatever, but what I will say is you need to allow for space in whatever space you have. So for instance, one night in our new home, Derek and I were in bed. We were both on our laptops and we were just kind of like, it was before bedtime, we were just kind of like doing our thing. And I realized that we had never done that in our previous apartment. When we went into that bed, it was to go to sleep. It wasn't, we would never like hang out there. And I thought about why, and what came to mind was just that we had this really big, well, like several bookshelves on one wall in our bedroom filled with books. And it just felt too chaotic in there. But I wouldn't have put that into words because I didn't have anything to compare it to. So when I think back, did we read those books? Did we reach for a lot of those books? No. Those books hung out on those bookshelves, took up a bunch of space, apparently stressed both of us out, like it was too crowded in there for both of us, and we never really utilized them. Like we hardly read them. Maybe we read a handful, which we could have borrowed from the library, ordered and given away. Like so many options there. And so I started to think more critically about the role that space plays. I am guilty of liking to fill spaces. So in our new house, since we have a lot more room, I'm like, maybe we need a coffee table. Maybe I need to get some decor to put on the servers, to put on the mantle. And Derek reminded me that negative space has a lot of value, that space is where ideas come from. When we have room to let more in. And so I just wanted to sort of like get you thinking about space and what that looks like in your life and where you can make more space, because it's been so neat to see that when I have more space, even like the area that we live is definitely not as hectic, not as urban as where we were living. So there's like a spaciousness to my environment and I am thriving. It is so good for me. And so I'm not saying that making space means making a move, upgrading your living space, anything like that. But things to consider are, what do you have in your space that you don't use? What do you have in your space that can be multi-purpose? So for instance, instead of getting a coffee table, we have this cute little table that we can move around to put our drink on in the living room. Right now my phone's resting on it. But instead of getting a coffee table that would be in the way, we might get one more of those. So it's really versatile, really flexible, it moves all around and it doesn't take up a lot of space. Also, I'm definitely gonna be downsizing my bookshelf and my closet. So even though I've moved into a bigger space, I don't want it to be overflowing. I don't want it to be a mess. So my bathroom cabinets are getting an overhaul. My closet is getting an overhaul. And I'm really excited to see what this new sense of spaciousness does for my business, for my coaching, and just for my overall like happiness and creativity, because I think I was blocked, and it wasn't because of anything besides the fact that I was being overstimulated by my environment. So this new beginning has me thinking about how can I create space for me to bloom, for me to blossom. And I would love for you to question that in your own life, because there are so many ways in which we thwart our own growth, in which we thwart our own success and thriving. And I think this is one way that, because of the consumeristic society we're a part of, we are not encouraged to have a spacious place. We're encouraged to fill it up with more and more stuff. And it's hard to, that is very subliminal, that messaging. And so sometimes it's hard to overcome it or become aware of it. So this is an invitation for you to become aware of the places that you can make more space. Look in your kitchen at the stuff you're not using. Look in your closet. Look under the cabinet in the bathroom. Just check it out and see. And let me know if you notice a difference when you have more space. I'd really love to continue this conversation with you and hear what you think. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. If you thought this video was helpful, please like it and share it with someone who could appreciate it. And as always, I would love if you subscribe so that you stay up to date on everything that the Self-Care Coach has to offer.